today we're going to talk about percent increase and decrease using proportions. A discount is to decrease an amount from the usual price of something. This is an example of a percent discount or decrease. And then we have a markup, which is the amount added to the cost of goods to cover overhead and profit. This is an example of a percent increase. So this right here is our proportion that we will use when finding a percent decrease and a percent increase. Our first problem says to find the percent of discount if the regular price is $65 and the sell price is $26. So if we look back here, it's change over original equals percent over 100. So we're going to write that right here. Change over original equals percent over 100. So it says the regular price is $65. That's your original. And the sell price is $26. That's your change. So it's asking for a percent. So percent is what we're looking for. So our change is 26 over our original, which is 65, equals percent over 100. We don't know percent, so this is our x. So we cross multiply. 65 times x equals 26 times 100. 65x is just 65x. And 26 times 100 is 2600. And then we divide by 65 on both sides to solve and isolate the variable. 2600 divided by 25. Divided by 65. Okay, I want you to press pause and then divide this and then press play when you are finished. Okay, and x is 40. So what does x represent? X represents the percent decrease. So we have our next problem, which is the percent markup. We're going to use the same proportion, change over original equals percent over 100. Okay, so if it's a percent markup and the shirt costs $12, this is its original price and this is its change price. So it originally cost $12, but they marked it up to $15. Go ahead and press pause and set up your proportion. And if you're confident to solve, go ahead and solve it and then press play when you have finished. This is your ratio. Again, you're finding percent, so this is your x. So 15 over 12 equals x over 100. Go ahead and solve for x. So you should have gotten that x equals 125%. 100% is the original price. So that means that if we take 100 and from 125, which is our answer, we get a 25% markup. And then example 3 says, which situation represents the greatest percent of change? Again, we're going to use this original change over original. Change over original equals percent over 100. So it says which one is the greatest percent, so that's what we're looking for. It says Jimmy bought a watch for $50, then sold it for $100. So this has got to be the original, and this is the markup. Okay, and then it says, or is it Sally's rent that went from $1,200, which is the original, to $1,400, which is the change. So, proportion A, Jimmy's watch, 100 is the change, over 50 is the original, equals the percent over 100. Remember, percent is your x, so that's 50 times x equals 100 times 100. Okay, I want you to finish solving this and then set up B and solve and determine which one represents the greatest percent change. So for Jimmy, you should have gotten that x equals 200%. So that means that if I take 200 and I subtract the full 100% of the original, then that means that it is a full 100% markup. So the reason why we subtract 100% is because the full price of the original is 100%. But if I am marking it up, it's what beyond that 100% are you marking up? And so I take my 200 minus 100 and get 100% markup. So that means that they doubled the price. And then so for the second proportion, you should have gotten your change, which is 1,400, over your original, which is 1,200, equals x over 100. Again, x is your percent. So if we cross multiply, we get 1,200x equals 1,400 times 100. 1,200x is 1,200x, which equals 140,000. And then dividing by 1,200. Go ahead and do that and press play when you have finished. Okay, so you should have gotten 116.6 repeater percent. So that means that if we take the original 100%, subtract it, we would get a 16.6% increase. So the original question is, what is the greatest percent of change? This was 100% markup, and this was a 16.6% markup. So this is the Jimmy is the greatest change. Okay, you are finished. Make sure that you have all of this on your paper and that you ask questions tomorrow if you have any.